You remember in the movie, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, the scene with the Black Knight. So the guy loses one arm, then the other arm, and then both legs. And the dude will not acknowledge he's lost the fight. "'Tis but a scratch. I've had worse. Come back here, I'll bite your legs off." Right? That's where James is at right here when he asks the question, are you willing to acknowledge? So here we go with James 2:20. "But are you willing to acknowledge, you foolish person, that faith without works is dead?" Now, we're kind of in the middle of his argument here where he's talking about faith without works is dead, useless, empty, waste, good for nothing. So he's pushing back. Now again, who is James writing to? He's writing to all believers. And who was James? The half-brother of Jesus. So they probably had conversations about what some kid at school said, while they were walking back and forth. So now he's asking the question to the people that think, I can have a real relationship with Jesus, I can have a real changed heart, I can have all of this, I can have my ticket punched for heaven, but I don't need a changed life. So we're going to look at what it means to acknowledge, what James means by foolish, and what he means by useless. So James asks, are you willing to acknowledge? Are you willing to recognize? Are you willing to call a spade a spade? Are you willing to call it what it actually is? Faith without works is worthless. It's dead. It doesn't count for nothing. So it doesn't change a thing. If you don't have a changed life, you're not going to have a changed heart. Are you willing to admit that? He's not necessarily forcing that view on us. He's just asking the question. Now, we do have, times in our lives where, it's good times and bad times, the waves, he's looking for, inactivity versus activity. Are we actively living out or trying to live out, improving our walk with Christ? If we say something is true, are we acting like it's true? So now this word fool that James chooses to use doesn't mean stupid or ignorant. It literally means empty. Now, Psalm 53:1 says that a fool says in his heart, there is no God. Now, check it out. And we're not getting too deep in the weeds here when it comes to like proof of God. But Romans 1:20 talks about creation. You can look around and you can see that everything has a design, and through that is proof that God does exist. There's moral law. Every culture, there's morals out there where you can't have moral law without a moral lawgiver. You can't have a creation without a creator. There's lots of evidence for God. If you really want to know, you can find it. And like what James said in James 1, he talks about if you lack wisdom, pray for it and he'll give it to you. So there's that out there. If you're looking for proof that God exists, there is actually a bunch out there. If evolution is your hang up, Answers in Genesis does have some good insight there. But again, he's not talking about stupid or unintelligent people. He's talking about people that are empty in their brain. They have found excuses for not living out what they're supposed to be living out. And again, this is meant to be a put down to the person he's asking the question to, which is, in my mind, not the greatest. If you want somebody to take an honest look at something, you normally encourage them and tell them they're smart, and fools can figure this out. You should be able to do that as well because you're a really smart person. So anyhow, that's kind of where James is going with this. He's all like, dude, if you want to claim God doesn't exist, you got some emptiness that you need to work on. And as Christians, we can pray about that and hop online and look up some facts if we like to. Again, Answers in Genesis is a great place. There's a lot of other good theologians out there, a lot smarter than me. If you have specific questions out there, you can YouTube it, of course, as well. And then James once again states, faith without works is dead. No life, corpse. It ain't good for nothing. So figuratively speaking, if you have a dead computer, can it compute? Nope. It's just a paperweight now. If you have a dead car, can it drive you anywhere? Nope. It's just a really big lawn ornament. So James is saying that this again, it's if you have real relationship, you're going to have a real change in your life. And if you have no change, then that is evidence that you don't have a changed heart. If you call yourself an apple tree and you produce pears, you're not an apple tree. You have an identity. You don't have an actual, it's not true. You have to acknowledge what's true. And that's what he's really getting at here. And he's not talking to somebody as in a demeaning voice, but he's just all like, dude, you got to understand that the life you're living, what you're doing, the way you talk, it's showing me, your friend James, that you don't actually have right relationship. I can tell your roots aren't doing great because the fruit you're producing isn't that of a Christian, isn't that of somebody who follows Christ. Now, just to be clear, James is not talking to atheists. So, he's talking to Christians. He's talking to people that claim to believe that they have a relationship with God, that they are going to heaven when they die. That's who he's talking to. So when he says empty-headed people, he's talking to some of us that say one thing but live a different way. That's who he's talking to. So just to make sure that it's not misinterpreted as he's calling atheists empty, that's not who he's talking to. He's talking to us who claim to be believers. So are you willing to acknowledge it? Are we willing to acknowledge that faith without works is useless? It's as useful at computing as a dead computer. It's as useful at driving as a dead car. No motor, no battery, no wheels, whatever. So that's where James is at now. The Black Knight was unwilling to admit that he had been defeated. He had all kinds of excuses. I've had worse, right? So this is, he's looking just for an honest look at our lives. Are we living as Christians should live, as followers of Christ should live? Or are we saying one thing and just saying, you know what, it's good. I don't need to show work. That's your thing. Showing works is your thing. I'm good here though. And I know some people, you know, when they start hearing stuff like this, the do not judge comes into play. James deals with that too. And as we keep going with this video series, we'll hit on that. But right now, I guess the honest question for us is, are we admitting what's obvious, that some of our actions don't line up with whose jersey we're wearing, whose team we're on, who we claim to trust? So that's one of those things, you know, it's an inward reflection that James is asking us to do. So think about it and subscribe for more.